Hey everybody, Jochen Heiden here. I'm back with the 11 January 1942 Rerun Turn 36 Combat Replay and Intel Analysis. So for those of you that watched my last video, you know that Lodrik requested a rerun. He burned his mulligan. So this is the actual rerun turn, and whatever the results are from this point forward are what sticks. So let's take a look and see what happened. Okay, and we're off with the rerun of the 11th of December turn. So this should go more or less the same as the previous turn, with the exception being it won't be a big land battle at Xi'an. And then we got the plunger taking a shot at this AK at a truck. Would have been nice if we'd hit, but didn't get a hit. Fortunately, we only wasted 2 torpedoes on that, but at least we know that that's a good spot to be intercepting at. Oh man, look at this. Look at all these ships that he's got in here. I don't know how many of these are ASW and how many of these are actually something else. Dang it. Alright, looks like the Nautilus is taking some damage here. And it's unfortunate too because we're in deep water. But once again, his ASW is much better than mine. Alright, these sub-chasers are typically pretty good. They carry a lot of ASW weapons. So they can just start dumping all kinds of depth charges over the side. So we take 5 hits on a Nautilus. It's probably going to be enough to send it back to port. Uh-oh. You guys saw that, right? That's not good. Oh. Dang it. How did I not see these guys coming? Well, it was bound to happen at some point. I think he was getting sick of Kagayan doing what it was doing, so he'd come in here to take some pot shots at it again. Fortunately for me, I read the situation correctly, and I elected to pull out the bulk of my aircraft from the previous turn. So while we will take some losses, I don't think it's going to be that catastrophic for us. So I'm going to fast forward through this so we can see the end result here. All right, so we got Kinugasa, Aoba, Suzuya, and Ashigara, and a bunch of decent destroyers. We take a lot of casualties here. The base is damaged, but in the grand scheme of things, I've already pulled out the bulk of the troops from there, and I've moved them somewhere else. So these casualties are survivable. It just sucks because like Kagayan was like the hub, and now we're gonna have to kind of move inland a bit where we won't be able to really slow down an invasion. But when we're subjected to these bombardments, there's not much we can do. All right, so that's the results there. That's going to basically put a stop to any kind of fortification building, and then these supply hits are always what I hate the most because I don't have supply on the island to be wasting. He's got sub chases. You know what? He's mad. He's mad that we've got so many subs near it, and he's just chasing us all over the place. See this? He's got multiple ASW units moving everywhere, all over the map. And then the cachalot is out here just to the west of Truk. Let's see how it survives this attack. In deep water, of course. Alright, so we survived that just fine. But this is an ASW attack, so these are units that are probably dedicated to just patrolling, looking for our subs. And he's devoting a lot of resources to this. Okay, a lot of sightings here. All right, so it's a sweep. Nothing's there. Another sweep. He's still looking. All right, interesting. You see this 15, 15, and 15? This is one of his large zero squadrons that he split up into 3 pieces to do 3 different missions. That would make sense, right? A 45 count squadron divided by 3. So he's using them in different places, just looking for a fight from us, but he's not going to get it. Oh, okay. Here we go. I knew this was coming too. I just knew it was coming. So I did leave the P-35s in place because I can't really transfer them out. They're in a restricted command and I can't move them. So it's better to leave them in place and see what they can do. I don't see them doing particularly well here, but we'll let this play out. It'd be awesome if we got a kill. Oh, hey, okay. These clods don't know what to do when they face opponents that are as maneuverable as they are. Not bad. Okay, so we chipped a few. Dang it. I knew this was going to happen. I just knew that he was going to do this. Ah. Dang it. All right. Well, we killed a quad, but he destroyed one of our seagulls in the ground, which is fine. Supply hits are always bad. And he's bombing from high altitude too. All right. The jig is up there at Cagayan. I think he's tired of us operating with impunity. He's certainly lost enough ships to us there, so he's looking to come after us. Lodrik said this turn would be like the other one, and it's definitely not. He did not hit the Cagayan last turn. Oh, wow. The Lusu warrior just got decimated. That's basically going to be it for that guy. It's not going to make it out. And it's so sad because it started over here and got all the way to here before it died. Yeah, it's probably not. It's just gone. It's gonna be gone. All right, and these are the raids that we're expecting every turn while we move our forces out of Conscien. So nothing unexpected here. And now he's trying to slow us down as we cross the river here. With a fair amount of escort too. Look at that. 26 fighter escorts. We take some casualties, but it's nothing that's horrendous. Now, poor Lusu warrior just can't catch a break here. Yeah, he's trying everything he can to stop this unit. Wow, he's got a lot of stuff. These DB3s, man, they just won't quit. And they snuck in there. I don't think they accomplished anything, but they got in anyway. Okay, so that appears to be the AM phase. And then we got the PM phase. All right, so did you see that? Looks like his task force is moving the cruisers that he has in the Bay of Bengal are moving back towards Ceylon. That might be an opportunity. I think we can use that. Okay, another attack on Conscien. And another one. Ineffectual. And another one. Nothing major. All those camera clicks. I hate them. That's a recon mission going successfully. Ah! So the catch-a-lot gave it a shot. He went to try at that guy. Unfortunately, he missed. 4 torpedoes wasted there. But you know what? I do know that Lodrik is very frustrated with my submarines. He thinks they're way more effective than they actually have been. And every time I talk to him, he's always mentioning the darn submarines and these torpedoes. Like, he thinks that we don't have subs out here doing stuff. But it's annoying him, and I know it, and I love it. I want to annoy him. Okay, he's still bombarding at Kukong. I don't know why. So this time we actually push back a bit and we destroy a few squads of his own. And I'll tell you why is that I have moved some guns down there. I got tired of him getting away with murder, so I brought some of my own guns in place, and I think you can see what's happening now is we're actually pushing back and inflicting casualties on him. The Japanese do, the Chinese do have guns too, Lodrik, so hopefully he'll get the message. But in the meantime, we're closing the noose on him, and he better figure something out quick. Okay, so we're building up some fortifications around the map here a little bit. This is the end of the turn, and for the most part, this was as I expected. Lodrik said he was going to keep it more or less the same as the turn that we reran, where he aborted the attack on Sion, and that's fine. The Cagayan airstrikes were a little unexpected. If I had known that he was going to take that liberty, I would have done something different elsewhere, but I was trying to be fair and keep my turn similar to the way it ran the first time. But okay, now that the gloves are off, I'm definitely going full force on this guy, and he's going to pay for everything he's done to me. Got some ships coming in. Don't mind those. Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. You can see that. That's good. Okay, well, that is the rerun 11 January turn. So now we'll look at the actual intel, which we did not get to see before. Okay, we're back with the post turn here. This is it's our new situation. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers. Starting with aircraft losses for this turn, 5-2 in favor of the Japanese here. We've lost 2 PBY Catalinas to ops losses. We continue to take heavy losses with our PBYs. I'm going to have to figure that out because, sorry about the dog. She's making a lot of noise tonight. Yeah, I'm losing more aircraft than I'm getting back from the supply system, so we need to fix that. He lost an Ida to ops loss, and we actually shot down. Can you believe it? We shot down an aircraft today. Lost a Seagull. Seagull was blown up on the ground when he bombarded Cagayan. A Lightning, I lost ops loss, which is a shame because I don't have a lot of those to be losing. And then a P-35A was also lost to ops after combat with the Claudes at Cagayan. Looking at top pilots, we do have 2 KIA, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not good. Ship sunk. Status quo. Nothing has changed here. Still waiting for the Japanese to admit their losses. They're being very tight-lipped about some whaler-type oil ships that I haven't seen reported yet, but I know they're sunk. So, come on, guys. Tell us the truth. Stop hiding. As far as Japanese loss points for the Army, it ticked up a little bit because we actually killed a few squads down at Kukong last turn. So that's the numbers. Not anything shocking by any means. Now, I guess we could just start in China tonight and we'll talk about the actual strategic situation and my analysis of what's going on. So, here's Lodrik's death stack, because he hates when I call it that, but that's exactly what it is. His death stack is here. He did not attack, and he's not going to attack for at least the next several turns. I'm certain of that. He has another collection of troops here. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but regardless, they're not coming into play here. So he basically knows now that he got a free turn, that he cannot take this hex. We've got about 4,300 assault value in place with great terrain and fortifications building. So nothing he's going to be able to bring in here is going to blow this out anytime soon. And I think he understood that he can't win there. So what I think he's going to do now is bomb us to death and bombard us to death over the next several weeks or month until we have nothing left, because that's just all he can do. Straight up assaulting right now is not an option for him. So he may have to actually start maneuvering elsewhere, look for another hole in the line. But I don't think he's going to find it, because I'm going to have them all plugged up. Unless he wants to go off-roading on places like this, which will take him forever to do. Sticking on the roads, we're going to have those blocks, so that's just not going to work for him. Oh, sorry, I keep yawning. It's late here, if anybody's wondering. It's 23:05 Pacific time. So forgive me if I'm yawning a bit. Things I do for my viewers, right? A little further south in China, we have this unit that's continuing to retreat across the river. And once I get here, it's going to be a straight shot in Changsha. I just spotted this unit moving around here. It's probably maneuvering to take Kanxian, which is fine. He can have it. I don't want it anyway. Pinxiang is holding steady. He's got a collection of troops here, but he'll never break through with this. Down here, we are well on our way to continuing our encirclement of Lodrik. But it looks like he's also moving to the Sex to secure that line. So we're going to have to figure out how to dislodge him from here, because the supply level of this base continues to drop. And maybe some of you veterans can help me understand why. I don't get it. Because if you look at the hex site details, this hex is wide open. So we should be getting supply from here. But because these guys are in the hex, this base has been dwindling supply every turn, and we're not getting any more. I don't really understand that. I would assume that if the hex site was open facing our bases, that we should be able to get supplies in there, but that's not the case. So if anybody can help me understand why we're not getting supply into this hex, I'd love to know. Because we certainly have sufficient supply in China right now to spare to get it in there, but it's just not getting there. And him only controlling that bottom right hex side shouldn't be blocking the supplies. At least I don't think it should. No, regardless, we're going to continue coming this way, and we'll try to box him in. Something's got to give, though. He's going to have to reduce his combat fighting power in this hex to stop us here. And we may be able to blow that unit out here. We may be able to counterattack here and dislodge him either way. It's not good for him. That's basically the situation in China right now. Everything else is kind of status quo. It was a quiet turn last turn, as Lodrik said it would be. Oh, we got some artifacts here. Don't you gotta love these old 20-year-old games, right? In Burma and the Bay of Bengal, his cruiser task force is over here now. It was over here. It's moving away. And it appears to be heading west. I don't think... what I think is happening here is that Lodrik can't figure out what to do. Like, he's not finding any targets, and he doesn't know where to go. Does he stay near Burma? Does he go over to Ceylon? Where is he going? Because right now, where he's at, he can't react to anything. Nothing within 6 hexes, right? So even if he did spot something, it'd be out of range for him. So I don't think I don't think he knows where to go. And if he doesn't figure out where to go, I'm going to help him out, because I'm tired of seeing this thing. So I might send some stuff towards him here pretty soon to give him a little nudge in a certain direction. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I do see a window of opportunity here to maybe sneak some ships in. So I will attempt to start moving some convoys down the coastline. We may not get all the way to Rangoon, but maybe I can kind of hopscotch down these bases until I can get to Rangoon and take advantage of a window of opportunity that he leaves us. So that's what my plan's going to be going forward here for the next turn. Is I'm going to hopscotch some ships down here to see if we can sneak it in while he's out here in the middle of the ocean doing Lord knows what. Other than that, it's pretty quiet here in... Dang, I hate when that happens. It's pretty quiet here in Burma for now, and I'll take every day of quiet while I can. Let's see if I can clear this out. This is a thing that happens every now and then with the game, especially when you're looking at aircraft. It leaves these artifacts in here when you're moving the map around. So in Malaya, as you can see, we're moving into our blocking positions, but he is piling up troops here in Kuala Lumpur. So he'll probably try to strike out, but either way, we're going to delay as much as we can by tying up all these railroad hexes and blocking his movement north out of Singapore. He still has a lot of aircraft here. I suspect these are all from his carrier aircraft. He's probably rearming and resting the aircraft and the ships. So it makes sense to park your aircraft into the port when you're doing something like that. And we, of course, have a bunch of ships sighted here, but we don't know what they're doing. At Miri, we dropped some more mines in place here to keep the pressure on any ships coming in here to get fuel out of Miri. Man, that's annoying. Again, everything's quiet in Dutch East Indies over here. Nothing to report. Now, where it's a little more busy is over here in the Philippines. Although he has not attacked that, Clark, I don't know what he's waiting for. A written invitation, I guess. But in the meantime, we keep building up fortifications, so I don't know what is, I don't know what his goal is here. I think he's got enough force here to take this base, but he's not attacking. But we do have this coming in here. And I believe he's going to be landing here to start capturing these bases this way. Why he's not just coming from Manila South, I don't know. But I don't have any other good reason for these to be here unless... Unless these are minesweepers and he's trying to get him in here to clear these out. But even that, you know what? No, I don't know what those are. We can't do that. Because I've got so many mines here and I've got coastal guns here that will just rip these up if they try to get into that hex. So I still think this is probably a landing here, but we'll have to wait and see. Last turn, he hit us with this unit here, which was a cruiser task force. He bombarded Cagayan. Caused some damage. Nothing absolutely critical to us. But, be that as it may, he did hit us here. And he also launched a strike with naval aircraft to hit the airfield 2. Again, it didn't amount to a whole lot, and it's not that important because I'm in the process of moving these aircraft out anyway. There's still a few left that are damaged or under repair, but every day they come up, I move them out. So it's maybe he thinks I have more in Cagayan than I actually do. I don't. I've moved most of the stuff to Malaya because it's better, more defensible hex. MT. What is MT? Let's take a look. MT. Oh, mountain. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the difference between MT and MTN is. Does anybody know what the difference is? They look very similar to me. Yeah, but so, this cruise task force is retreating back to Babel, so maybe our subs will get a crack at it before it goes into port. And then this unit's going to sit here and do whatever it wants to do for a couple turns and then probably head out. Over in Australia, it's very quiet, eerily quiet. So the sea lanes are wide open for Perth. We've got ships coming in and going out. Nothing to report there. Taking a look at Port Moresby, though, and the whole Solomon Sea area, there's a lot of shipping activity at Rabaul, and I believe most of it is actually, well, what I understand is mostly these are his sub hunter units. He's very frustrated with our subs. I know that after speaking to him and just looking at the amount of assets he's throwing into this, he's very upset with our sub activity. So he's throwing ASW units all over the place. So go right ahead, Lodrik. Waste the ships. At Port Moresby, we were able to sneak in this unit here, and we're actually on the way out. I dropped some units off there, and I actually have the Sparrow Battalion currently. Actually, I need to get some escort on that. I have the Sparrow Battalion currently in Hex, dumping in here, and when that's done, that will be one of the last pieces to the 8th Australian Division, and then we can rebuild that unit. And that will add a lot of fighting power to our forces at Port Moresby. I'm also still in the process of air evacuating the Lark Battalion here. This unit is actually pretty big. So we have quite a bit of the Lark Battalion here is at Port Moresby. Actually, a larger percentage of it now is actually there than what's left in that hex. So we're using our seaplanes to airlift it out every turn. So I expect this to take another week to get all these pieces out. The things that are going to slow it down are things like the guns that are very heavy. The troops actually move pretty fast. It's all the guns and equipment that take longer to move. But once we have the Lark Battalion in there, we can rebuild the 8th Australian Division, and that should be probably all we're going to get into Port Moresby before Lodrik really shuts it down for good. But I'm happy with what we got in there. We have about, once the Sparrow Battalion unloads, we're going to have a little over 600 assault value in Port Moresby. And I'll tell you what, I think that's a decent number because we got the terrain. He's going to have to come at us by sea, which is going to expose his ships to coming through sub traps and aircraft attacks on the way. So I really think that it's going to be a costly invasion if he wants to take Port Moresby at this point. And he's going to need to bring a lot of force. He's going to need to bring, 2-3 divisions worth of troops to take that. If he wants to have overwhelming force, he's going to have to come at me with at least double the AV, if not more. Hopefully he learned his lesson up near Sion and knows that he has to overwhelm terrain that's not clear terrain, right? Clear terrain, he doesn't really need the numbers advantage so much, but on anything that has jungle, anything that we've got fortifications on, he's going to have to hit us with a freight train. And I don't think he can sea lift a freight train to Port Moresby without losing a lot of it on the way. At least that's what I hope. So I'm happy with Port Moresby. The only thing I'd love to do now is continue to get more supply into there, because that's not a sustainable long-term amount of supply. But it's still enough for now. So I think we've done well at Port Moresby, with the exception of all the ships we lost getting troops in and out of there. We lost those ships because Lodrik kept teleporting his carriers into this area here without us ever having any sight of them coming in. We had zero warning. He just materialized out of thin air 2 different times now, up and down this area, and killed so many of our ships that we were sending into Port Moresby. If I had known they were coming, I would never have sent them. But we had no warning that those carriers were coming. So it is what it is. Now I've learned my lesson. I'm only sending very small, bite-sized pieces of units into Port Moresby while I can. At 1 or 2 ships at the most at the time, and probably just going to be AKLs now, things that I can afford to lose. Let me see. You know what? Let's take a look at my sub base up here at Adak Island. So as I mentioned previously, I am relocating my sub base from Dutch Harbor to Adak because it's a better base to build on. We have way more capacity here, and it's about, I don't know, 8 or 9 hexes closer to Japan. So there's the tuna, but now it doesn't have as far to go, right? It is closer so that we can actually turn the subs around a little faster, save a couple days of transit time. I've already got quite a bit of ships there, including an AS. And, I'll probably send a repair ship up there, too, so we can take care of small repairs that need to be done for any subs that come in with 5 or less damage points. Anything more than that, we'll have to send it to Pearl Harbor. But, yeah, 8X coming along good. We got some troops landing here soon. We're bringing in some fuel. over here we got some more fuel coming out of Dutch. More fuel coming from Seattle. Troops coming from here. More troops coming from here. So within about a week, ADAC should be fully operational. And we can start expanding all the fields, the port in the field, because I've got a lot of engineers on the way. So ADAC is going to be my main Aleutian Islands jam. We can take a look down here at Malaya. As you can see, there's a lot of activity down here. Couple projects I have going on right now that I don't mind talking about. I'm sending some more supplies and an AVD, which is basically like a seaplane tender, up to Luganville so I can run more aircraft out of this hex. More seaplanes, rather, because I want to continue having good coverage all through here. So I'm going to start my expansion towards Espiritu Santo and build up Luganville and make that a base that we can power project bombers towards Tulagi and the rest of the Solomons when that time comes. And then Noumea itself is doing very well. We're expanding everything here. We got tons of supply, tons of fuel, everything we could ever ask for. Lots of engineers, lots of aviation support, a decent garrison with more on the way. So I feel like we've already secured New Caledonia. And this isn't the base we have to worry about falling to Lodrik anytime soon. Okay, I think I've covered everything. That's basically it. This turn was pretty quiet, and that's what Lodrik told me it would be, and that's fine. So I've got some plans here. I got a lot of logistics to do, and I'm working on that. So next turn, we'll look for some more activity in China. I think we're going to have some activity in the Bay of Bengal. Hopefully we can get some heat on these units here and maybe drive them out, because I would love to move these guys south so I can get some more supplies down into Rangoon while I can. I've kind of given up on moving troops by sea right now. I think it's just too risky. I can't afford to lose any troops on transports again. That's not going to happen. So I'm settling on using the overland routes, which is fine. They work. But what I do need to sea lift are the supplies, because I don't have any way of getting supplies into Burma because these roads don't connect, right? They don't connect here. They don't connect here. So the supply is not going to flow into Rangoon from Calcutta, which has tons of supply and more coming. So what we have to do is we're going to have to ship it in. There's just no other way. So I'm going to look to make a hole and Lodrik ships over here so I can get more supply in. Please join the Discord. Come on over. We got over 60 people in there now, and it's growing every day. Great conversations, tutorial discussions in there. You can join my side or Lodrik's channel so you can get some behind-the-scenes information that you won't get from these videos here. So come on over. Other than that, leave a comment if you have a question. If you just want to say something nice to me, please do that too. As always, thank you for supporting me and Lodrik in this campaign, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.